Handbuff Death Knight seems to be back on the menu, boys, and you guys know me. I do enjoy me a little bit of Handbuff Death Knight here and there, so the moment it's playable again, I do my best to actually squeeze in a few games with it, and we literally couldn't lose with this one on our road back to top 1000 legend. So in this video, I'm gonna give you a quick guide about it, talk about mulligans, win rates, and general tips, so you guys know what you could be expecting with and against it. I hope you find the video helpful, and if you do, a like and subscribe would be great, but now let's check out the deck.
You are not prepared!
Here's the list I used, and literally couldn't lose a single game with it, not gonna lie. I think we went like 5-0 with it or something like that. And the deck does look pretty similar to the lists I've been using before, but it wasn't exactly the same. We don't have anything too crazy in this one. It still runs the standard MVP minions. You have yourself the Dark Form Quilters, with which you could be doing a ton of damage, including poison damage, so your Gnome Muncher can follow up with phase damage afterward for sure. We have City Chief Esho, which buffs everything else, including the board, so you could be surprising opponents with wide, small boards, and they won't expect a buff from you on board. You are a hand buff, not a board buff Death Knights after all. And we have plenty of healing with things like Seamstress, Reanimated Pterodax, and the Gnome Muncher, so all around it's gonna be pretty hard for opponents to kill you, but you are definitely susceptible to a lot of board control, so there's that too. What usually happens with this deck is in the first few turns you're trying to draw cards, you're trying to buff your hand. On turn 5 you try to really buff your hand with things like Amateur Puppeteer, and on turn 6, 7, 8, that's when you start plopping insanely big minions, like we're talking Battlegrounds territory right there, and usually a lot of opponents stop kicking then. What you also could be doing is buff a little bit more aggressively in the first few turns and do something crazy like a turn 3 or turn 4, a bunch of 3-5s, 4-6s, that kind of stuff that can actually take a lot of opponents by surprise, a little bit too early for their liking, and you are gonna see what happened against the Warrior when we did go this route. So yeah, all around the deck doesn't always go super tall, sometimes it decides to go medium and quick. You also need to be smart about how you play it against things like mages, because we all know they love freezing big minions a lot, so in that case you would prefer going a little bit wider with some medium-sized minions again, so you actually don't get punished by the freezers. Going through the cards, we have a couple of lesser Spinal Spellstones, and rarely you're gonna get to see this buff for +3/+3. I would say it's a mistake to wait for it to buff for +3/+3. Most of the time it would be better to weave it in when you have the mana to spare, so your next minions are at least +1 or +2 as well is kind of fine, but again, try not to be waiting too much for the +2. The Morbid Swarm is great because it gives you a couple of corpses. Blood Tap is super easy to get +2/+2 out of, so that is definitely worth getting. The Brittlebone Buccaneer, the best thing you could be using it on would be if you're greedy on your Amateur Puppeteer 1/1. Don't try to go for a turn 6 or 7, so you can actually play both of them at the same time. In some cases, you might want to buff this guy a little and then tempo out Amateur Puppeteer the turn after on turn 4 or 5, if this guy actually stuck. If it's a 3/5, usually it sticks, but a lot of the times the opponent is going to go out of their way to actually kill it with things like swipe or whatever. That did happen against the Druid matchup, but at least if they're swiping, at least they're not ramping. You can also give Reborn to the Handler, to the Chillfallen Baron, that kind of stuff, but the main target would be the Puppeteer indeed, even though getting extra card draw and extra corpses also ain't no joke. The Dreadhound Handler, also another decent minion to be using early on, but it's also not bad when you buff it a little. But you would be a lot happier gaining 3 corpses for only 2 mana like this in the early game, so keep that in mind. The Poison Breath is usually only used on your Darkhorn Quilter, but in certain situations where you just need to handle a big taunt, you could use it on your Hero Power or on a 1/1 out of this, or just on some small undead you don't care about. And the cool thing about the Poison Breath is the Darkhorn Quilter is literally gonna need only 1 tick to destroy something on the board, and the rest can go face, so that can be pretty cool. The Chillfallen Baron helps you big time with the card draw. The Rainbow Seamstress helps you because it's a rush and a lifesteal. We do have Reborn on this one, but don't forget the Reborn is not gonna have rush or lifesteal because this is a battle cry, not a permanent kind of effect. The Toy Snatching Geist could give you basically anything from your own deck, including extra Puppeteers, so that can be pretty nasty. And don't forget this thing is gonna discount by its attack, so you could be getting something pretty cheap. It's also not a bad thing to be doing early on because you do want to keep yourself a good minion size in your hand, so you can actually get more out of your buffs. The Darkhorn Quilter, usually best once you've buffed it at least above 6 attacks, so it actually does something on the board, and in certain situations games, you're literally gonna tempo this guy. Like, imagine dropping a turn 4 6-8 on the board. What's the opponent gonna do? If they don't have some kind of single target card removal, they literally cannot stick a board against you ever again. So this can be an insanely good anti-tempo for the opponent and insane tempo for you. The Dread Raptor is pretty decent. You're usually always gonna have the Kindred effect up, and that is gonna fish out your Death Rattle minions, both the Chill Fallen or the Dreadhound Handler, and it makes it cost 0, which can be pretty cool. The Nerubium Swarm Guard could be massive if you buff it up a little. You don't even need to buff it a lot, like literally just +2/+2 becomes kinda insane for it. A 4-mana 3/5 with Taunt, usually back in my day that used to be a 4-drop, but now you get 3 of them, so that can be nasty. The Amateur Puppeteer, pretty awesome, and if you're playing against this deck, in some case you might actually not want to kill this thing, because the sooner you kill it, the sooner the opponent's going to be playing obscene big things against you. The one you get out of it is a lot more versatile for you, and that is usually the minion you're actually going to get Brittlebone Buccaneer on with, because it's a lot cheaper. The Reanimated Pterodax is amazing because it basically drops down for 0 mana for you, as long as you have the corpses, and usually you do, and it's a great way to anti-tempo the opponent, heal back to full, and all of that. City Chief Fasho, a great unexpected buff for the board, and some matchups, for instance against the Mage, I did try to pull off a board buff, but the Mage really overcommitted to clearing it, including his coin, so that was kind of cool. But yeah, in some cases you could do something like Morbid Swarm plus the Nerubium Swarm Guard, and if the opponent ignores that 5 damage on the board, next turn it becomes 15, and that can be pretty cool. And last but not least, we have the Gnome Muncher, which is again a lifesteal minion, so with this guy you could be getting yourself a lot of life back, and you could also go face with it if you manage to set it up properly. For the matchups, we don't have too much stats, but as you see, plenty of 50/50s from the popular ones, and plenty of good ones with Dragon Warrior, and even Protoss Mage. I did actually expect this deck to be a bad matchup, but no, it actually felt pretty decent. Quest Warrior might be a problem, but if you go greedy against them, I think you might have a chance. All around, on the mulligan going first, you are going to be looking for your good corpse cards like Morbid Swarm and Dreadhound Handler. The Chill Fallen Baron is great for the card draw. Toy Snatching Geist is also okay. If you're curving into the Puppeteer, that could be great. I wouldn't really hold on to the Dread Raptor, that's a little bit too expensive for my liking, and depending on the matchup and on the curve, Brittlebone Buccaneer might also make sense. In certain matchups and in certain hand situations, you could also keep a Lesser Spinal Spellstone, like let's say if you have a Brittlebone Buccaneer and another good early game minion, the Spellstone on turn 1 actually is an okay play, so you can actually do a turn 2 2/4 into a turn 3 3/3 Chill Fallen or 3/2 Dreadhound Handler, something like that. On the coin, we have plenty of the same stuff. Try to get your corpses, try to get the card draw, and if you're curving into some of that good hand buff, that might also be good. All around, that's it for the deck. It's basically a free-to-play deck. The City Chief Fasho was a free card, so all you need here is a couple of epics, which definitely looks pretty budget-friendly, so I would recommend this deck to anybody that doesn't have too much dust and is trying to play something somewhat fun. Hope you found the guide helpful, and if you did, you know what to do. But now let's check out some of my games on my road back to top 1000 Legend with it. Hope you enjoy.
Watch your back.
You will know pain.
Okay, against the Rogue, a real deck. That does the whole lot with a hand like this. I didn't see it anywhere though, Dash. Did not manage to see it.
You could use a trim. Clear cut.
Doesn't seem like he won a lot with it.
The citadel stands strong. citadel stands strong.
I'm seeing it, it's 53-ish% win rate, it seems. No, it's not it.
Could use a trim.
Yeah, no idea.
Icy resolve.
It's not too bad. Push that tempo. But did he do well with it? Because so far I don't see him doing well with it. Does look pretty greedy. Literally no early game whatsoever.
Icy resolve.
I could have just buffed with City Chief by the way. I still have some alternatives here, like filling the board with taunts. But I think I like this best. Did I miss fucking lethal? Fucking idiot. I literally missed lethal. God damn, I'm dumb. Fucking hell, dude. We literally had tons of lethal there and I tunnel vision like a moron. Tunnel vision like a moron right there. Another ugly win. Why did it have to be with a misplay? Because I'm dumb, that's why. Ain't gonna dumb itself. I added that signature bonehead to my gameplay, you know? Demon Hunter. Trying to bamboozle me, he's a druid.
Must be destroyed. You will know pain.
Something like this, perhaps. Yeah, and this is the second game.
Either the Legion dies, or I die with it! Time waits for no one.
I found it. It's a 53% win rate deck. Not very tempting. No, this guy, no minion Demon Hunter. 6 damage to the face. Not a big fan of that. Let's make it 4. How's it going, Gungo? Look at all these minions I can buff, man. Look at him. Buffing these into 3/5s for next turn is kind of tempting, but I'm gonna try a little bit greedier. Four mana, no Muncher might be important, but we already have decent amount of lifesteal. Let's just gain some corpses.
The blunder.
Thanks, man. We can just do this and next turn buff him out. Turn 5, these are gonna be 5/7s. Not like he runs Kane in there, he could discover one. Be a lot cooler if he didn't. It's a lot of damage, but soon we're gonna have a lot of healing. Wouldn't mind top decking the reanimated Pterodax too. We are living dangerously here, not gonna lie. I'm not a mancha. "14 healings on the way." Please don't have 4 damage from hands. Does this guy think this thing can go face twice or something? I also thought that for my first game. Didn't take too long to figure that one out.
You could use a stream.
So much for that. Yeah, I thought so. So what was that stupid shit from? It was some kind of silly 2000s movie, wasn't it? Sultan.
Versus Malfurion.
The nightmare shall end. You will know pain.
Doo-doo! Against the doo-doo we can go slow. Let's try like that. I could go turn 1 this thing even, for the sake of this thing being tanky, but we'll see. That ain't too bad. Let's go ahead like this. Next turn I can do that into this. Seabreeze Chalice would be a bitch. Could also have Swipe. Let's try. If he has to do that, he ain't ramping. Swipes. He ain't ramping though. Another one.
The citadel stands strong.
I haven't seen the new released cards, but the first few definitely looks pretty gnarly. Sounds like this one's gonna be a banger, don't it? Nothing too amazing to buff right now, but still I'd rather do it like this, do it like that. Gotta get versed about the new released cards. I'll probably do a overview of them tomorrow. Be on the lookout for that. Ooh. Filthy. Nice.
The citadel stands strong.
I do want to get a few more corpses, but I'd rather just get one corpse right now. Ew. New heights. Kind of funny. Kind of funny.
Give the Legion a taste of their own chaos.
One of everything. Keep him coming, keep him coming. It's human.
Time waits for no one.
Live the full life. Sure, he's preparing for a whole lot of nothing. See what this do first. Probably gonna play this at the end. No taunts. No lifesteal on the boards.
My rule is eternal.
I'd do this. Not sure why I'd do this though.
Icy resolve.
Nah, fuck it, I'm not gonna play that shit right now.
What little time.
This ain't the worst though.
The citadel stands strong.
Sounds fine. I was thinking about blasting this, but would have been too small. Black Knight would be nice. I don't know. That was fine. Well, he has a lot of mana to work with. How dare he?
Weapon reporting it.
Kill. Those are big. Uh-huh. We have 14 damage. We close.
My rule is eternal.
Couple of 911s. Ain't nothing wrong with it. I'm gonna go like this. Gonna go like that. Kinda regret this play. But it's not the worst play. Quite the battlegroundsy stats. Yeah, I know it was, but it was costing me the double 4-drop play. Do you concede to me? You're a lot cooler if you did. Those were cards. Any day now. Word. Figured it out. Trust against the mage. Ew.
The Lich King versus
This should be very bad if he's Protoss, and he should be Protoss. To be fair, we did face Elemental Mage today, so who knows? I don't think I'm even gonna keep the Buccaneer here pretending it's gonna live. Ew. Protoss he is. So going with big man against this guy, not very smart. Going wide and buffing him with this guy might work. It's just crazy enough to work. Honestly, I do enjoy this deck myself. Every time Handbuff Death Knight is playable, I'm kinda happy. Playing it at least. The scan is very buffable. Very buffable hand right there. Next turn looks sketchy. Top decking Blood Tap would be nice. That's good. Next turn I could just go wide and surprise him with a City Chief. Could have Chalice. Could also go with this thing. But it's not like he's gonna kill it anytime soon. No. I do need room though. Or like he's gonna kill something. Bono boost at least for some. He has it at 3 mana. I always forget about City Chief. Heck, sometimes I forget about City Chief. Smoke didn't forget. Smoke membered. Smoke membered. Wasting the coin? A bit too much in it. Oh, silly.
Can't this thing dance any faster?
I can't dance any faster.
I'll push the tempo again. Not gonna wait around for the reborn.
You are not part of their plan.
Still just go for it. Cool thing about both of these is they don't care about getting frozen.
My legs are tired.
Like this good enough. Raising it does not deny damage, same with the Munchie. Muncho Gracias. His discounts is pretty low, he hasn't played location yet. He's living dangerously. Dangerous. There you go, freezing again. There you go, freezing again.
Reality woven.
This ain't bad at all. Giving it to this guy is gonna poison everybody, and no Muncher Walt his face. I actually want to make some room like this. Still 1 extra damage to the opponent's face. Come on, dude, freeze harder. Sequencing first playing this, then this guarantees this guy's poison first, or at least attempts to. So that this guy can have a free board, and boom goes the dynamite. His. You love to see it, you love to see it. It's supposed to be a counter to our deck, but if you play it for not very, very big men, Definitely does help. Yes, the warrior.
Versus Anhilda.
Arise and carry out our lady's will.
This is a pretty good looking hand, honestly. Play this on 1, play this on 2 probably. Honestly, I'm okay with that. He is not quest. One more decent minion and a buff.
Proportions look good.
I'll go with tempo this. Could have a way to kill it sadly, but it is what it is. Let's try and get to play this. Okay, it's one off. Could also coin this. But I think nah. That ain't bad at all. I'm gonna go like this and coin this puppy out after I'm done killing these. And next turn that's gonna be a massive 4/6. If he kills my corpsey boys, I could even play these. Should be Ez.
What pretty petals!
Thanks, man. Flex to be this guy. Duck's kinda scary good, yo. Duck's kinda scary good. Guess it was not a fluke.